We are almost a week on now from the appalling terrorist attack that took place at the Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation Synagogue. This has been a week of deep trauma and mourning for the Jewish community at a time when they should have been observing one of the holiest periods in the calendar of their faith. From the moment the first call came to police, our efforts have been driven by a desire to establish the truth for all those affected and for the wider community. They have been at the forefront of our minds and continue to be in our thoughts today. Counter-terrorism policing investigations can be complex and take time due to the nature of the information and the evidence which is meticulously gathered and assessed. However, they are unique in the fact that we have an entire national network of resources at our disposal which is ready to mobilise at short notice. Significant numbers of specialist officers and staff alongside Greater Manchester Police and other partner agencies have worked non-stop to establish a clearer picture of the circumstances surrounding what's happened. I can now offer some updates on that progress. Counter-terrorism officers have arrested and interviewed 6 people at length. 2 of those individuals were released without charge on Sunday evening, and we have further releases planned for today. This does not mean our investigation has concluded. We have conducted extensive CCTV and house-to-house inquiries, and we have spoken with potential witnesses and members of the community. We have been told from witness accounts that a man, now confirmed to be Jihad Al-Shamie, was seen acting suspiciously outside the synagogue before he was confronted by security. This was not reported to police because the man walked away when challenged. Around 15 minutes later, he returned to the scene in a black Kia vehicle and deliberately drove the car at innocent members of the public before colliding with a wall. He stepped out of the vehicle armed with a knife and resumed his attack. He had a second knife in his possession, and he was also wearing a hoax device on his person. This device has since been assessed and confirmed to be a non-viable device. Minutes after the first call was made to GMP, and as firearms officers were making their way to the scene, Al-Shamie called 999, claiming responsibility for the attack. He also pledged allegiance to Islamic State. The attack continued, but thanks to the bravery of security staff, worshippers, and the fast action of police, the attacker was prevented from gaining access to the synagogue. Adrian Daulby and Melvin Cravitz sadly died. 3 other men remain in hospital with serious injuries. Specially trained officers are in frequent contact with the families to provide them with support and to update them on our progress. We have conducted assessments across our systems, and I can reiterate that Al-Shamie had never been referred to the PREVENT programme, nor was otherwise known to counter-terrorism policing. However, at this stage of the investigation, we are more confident that he was influenced by extreme Islamist ideology, and the 999 call forms part of this assessment. It's important to stress that we look across all the evidence gathered in order to make our assessment of the motivation behind the attack. This assessment continues, and there may be further drivers and motivations identified. We are also starting to understand more about him as an individual, and I'm grateful to all those who have contacted police with information. This remains a live counter-terrorism investigation. Although we have made significant progress since the attack took place, we are still in the relatively early stages, and there is much work still to be done. We are also supporting the coroner in their respective investigation. I know there is significant public interest in this case, and we will continue to release updates where possible. I want to record my sincere thanks to members of the local community for their patience and their support as we have conducted our inquiries. Without it, we would not have been able to progress this investigation at the pace we have. Finally, I know when we are faced with such horrific events, it sparks a lot of public discussion and commentary. However, I want to appeal to anybody with material that could be potentially useful to please share that with us directly. And in order to do that, you can visit the Major Incident Public Portal page online.